They were told the war would end in one day. But before the sun set, tens of thousands were already dead. And what happened at the Somme became one of the darkest days in human history. 1916 Europe is drowning in World War I. The war has already dragged on for 2 brutal years. No one thought it would last this long. On one side, the British and French forces. On the other, German defensive lines, deeply fortified. The plan was simple: break through enemy lines and end the war. Commanders believed a massive artillery bombardment would destroy German defenses. For 7 days, the sky never stopped shaking. Millions of shells were fired. Soldiers were told, after this bombardment, there will be nothing left to fight. But they were wrong. Dead wrong. July 1, 1916. Morning silence covered the battlefield. Young soldiers stood inside cold, muddy trenches. Some wrote last letters. Some prayed quietly. Some smiled nervously, believing victory was near. Then came the whistle. A signal that changed everything. Thousands climbed out of the trenches into open fields called no man's land. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then, the world exploded. Machine guns hidden in German bunkers opened fire. Not random fire, but perfect, prepared killing zones. Soldiers fell instantly. Rows of men disappeared in seconds. By the end of the first day, over 20,000 British soldiers were dead, and more than 40,000 were wounded. It was not a battle. It was a slaughter. Between the trenches lay something called no man's land, a stretch of land so destroyed it no longer looked like earth. Mud mixed with blood, broken weapons, burning smoke, and bodies that could not be recovered. Soldiers who survived the first wave were trapped. Some tried crawling forward. Others tried going back. But every direction meant death. Barbed wire turned movement into torture. Machine guns turned distance into impossible space. There were moments of silence, then sudden bursts of gunfire. Men would be alive 1 minute, and gone the next. Even rescuing the wounded was impossible. If someone fell, they stayed there, calling for help that never came. The first day was only the beginning. For months, the battle continued. Trenches advanced, but only by meters. Every inch of land cost hundreds of lives. Commanders kept ordering new attacks. New waves of soldiers kept coming. Many of them were young. Some were barely trained. They believed they were fighting for glory. Instead, they walked into death zones. One theory still debated today is this: did commanders fully understand how strong German defenses were? Some historians say no. Others say they did, but underestimated the machine guns. Either way, the cost was unimaginable. The Battle of the Somme lasted 141 days. By the end, over 1 million soldiers were killed or wounded. Entire villages in Britain lost generations of young men. Some families lost all their sons in one day. The battlefield itself changed geography. Trees were erased. Villages disappeared. Even rivers changed path from shell explosions. There is also a haunting truth. Some soldiers were never found. Their bodies still remain, somewhere under the Somme fields. Survivors described the battle differently. Some said time stopped. Some said they stopped feeling fear, because fear had no meaning anymore. One soldier wrote, "I stopped thinking about death, because death was everywhere." Back home, families waited. Letters arrived slowly, then stopped completely. Many mothers never knew where their sons fell. No grave. No goodbye. Just silence. After 141 days, the battlefield finally went quiet. No victory celebration. No heroes marching home. Only mud, smoke, and silence. 1 million. Over 1 million lives changed forever. And even today, more than a century later, the land of the Somme still holds secrets beneath its soil. Sometimes, farmers still find helmets. Sometimes bullets. Sometimes bones. So the question remains, was it a necessary sacrifice to end a greater war? Or was it the moment humanity lost control of war itself? Because at the Somme, history didn't just record a battle. It recorded a warning. And that warning still echoes every time the world forgets the cost of war.